What's good, YouTube? This is what I meant to say, man, that I didn't get a chance to say in my last video rant, you know. Um, and I apologize, man, like for anybody that was offended who it wasn't intended for. It's more of a, um, if it applies, then it applies. If it don't, let it fly. You know how we do. But uh, what I want to say, shout out, man, to Asia Wilson for winning the Women's Athlete Award. It's well deserved. You know, you're talking about a player coming off of two championships. Um, she's won multiple MVPs, multiple Defensive Players of the Year. You just really can't say enough about Asia Wilson. No weaknesses to her game. Phenomenal, phenomenal. May perhaps, if she continues along this path, go down as the GOAT. You know, right now I still have a 1 and 1A for me is Cynthia Cooper and Maya Moore. 1 and 1A. You know, and but you look at this path that she's on, this trajectory. You know, both of them played short careers. That's the thing. You know, Maya Moore was young enough to actually probably still be playing now if she wanted to. You know, had that happened, goodness gracious, had she decided to play as long as Diana or something like that, she probably would have put all of that out of reach. You know, so shout out to Asia Wilson for that. Shout out to Caitlin Clark for winning College Player of the Year award. Was well deserved. You look at the numbers she put up; they were ridiculous. You know, when you look at the fact that she coming from a small program like Iowa, and Lisa Bluter building the offense around her, really James Harden style. But the fact that she was able to take that, which is probably the best style for the situation they were in. She had a little help, you know, with Kate Martin, a couple other decent players, but you know, for the most part, we know the engine of that was Caitlin Clark. She got them into the tournament, as well as got them to the championship game twice. You know, you can't say enough about what she's done, and you see what it has turned into. You got Clark Mania now, so she absolutely deserved that award. You know, you're looking at the college ranks, it's probably not even close. You know, so shout out to Caitlin Clark for that. And then last but absolutely not least, Dawn Staley. Shout out definitely to Dawn Staley, Philly Zone, North Philly Zone, Diamond Street, Dawn. You know, Dawn Staley Way. We have a street named after her down here. The work she's put in. We're talking about in the women's basketball. From women's basketball, the 96 team, which is probably the greatest women's Olympic team of all time. With her, Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie. You know, you just can't say enough about that squad. Dawn was on that team as well. And Dawn was a Philly legend here in the streets, playing with the men, all of that, you know. A lot of times, you know, you need a point guard, put Dawn on your team, you know, go out here, be balling out. I remember as a kid seeing her play, you know, some of the rec centers and parks around, you know, around the way. She goes from there to actually coached at Temple for a while, you know, try to revive this program. Unfortunately, you know, it didn't turn into what she was able to accomplish in South Carolina. I guess she didn't get the resources and the backing that she needed. You know, it would only been right, you know, and I'm sure in Dawn's heart, she would have loved to have been able to build at Temple what she now has in South Carolina, which is a legendary program right now. The Gamecocks, you're talking about a team that went undefeated, I believe it was 2 years, until they lost last year to Iowa in a controversial decision. But, you know, it is what it is. It lost that game to Iowa. But this year they came back with a vengeance, got their revenge, went undefeated, you know, and this was Dawn Staley's third national championship, I believe. So, you know, if she continues along this track, without a doubt, she will go down as probably the greatest women's college coach of all time, you know. There's been some talks about her possibly coming to the W. I don't see that. You know, Dawn Staley just seems like the type, man, that enjoys what she's doing. You know, the way she can impact the lives of young women that seems to be right up her alley, the college lane, because in the college game, you could teach more so, whereas in the pro game, you can't really do the teaching like that. I mean, you probably could, but I can see the pro game changing a little bit now, because as with prosperity comes a lot of the BS. And, pretty soon you'll probably see it becoming a player-driven league similar to the NBA. Caden Clark, I believe, is going to be the first of that type. You already see it right now. The coach is just like, can't do it right. The coach is just on the hot seat every game, But it's interesting to see how that goes. Now, I know Dawn Staley probably would not be going to the Indiana Fever. That, I can't see that happening at all, because that's just not the type of environment I can see her in, and I only mention that because I've seen some detractors of Christy Sides bringing up, Dawn Staley as a possibility. There is no way. I don't even think they could pay her to leave what she has there in South Carolina, and I know, Taurus people, which is what Dawn is, are very types of people that are very loyal. They get not satisfied, but they'll take peace of mind oftentimes over just all this money, even if they try to throw money at them. You know what I mean? So I think she probably loves what she does, man. Matter of fact, I know that. So yeah, shout out to her for that. All right, so that's Asia Wilson, the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark, probably the greatest college basketball player of all time, her and Shara Miller. And then you got Dawn Staley, who I believe will go down, as the greatest college, women's coach of all time. Peace out.